times, like, like your leaders and the people on your team, you have to let them fail, right? And you just got to make sure that like, you just got to manage like the risk. So it's not expensive failure, right?
That's right.
And part of that journey is if they fail and they rise back up and you bring them back up, they will actually respond better in the future. And that's something I've learned over the years with letting like my leaders fail, but I want to manage that failure. If that makes sense, type in failure in the chat. And Karen, I want to hear your thoughts on that, on failure.
I 100% agree, I think. And that's, I wouldn't have got to where I've got without failing. It wasn't all the things that I did, it was a lot of things I did right, but it was more the stuff I did wrong and I learned from. I think failure is the best way to learn if you use that as a learning opportunity to empower and to grow that individual. If you do that, I think the sky's the limit. And I think giving permission when you are delegating or doing, to people, say, it's okay if you fail, no problem, we can work it out. Again, the risk, you have to evaluate the risk. If this is a $20,000 failure, that's bigger than a $200 failure, right? Yeah. So you do have to do that, but give them the permission. It's okay, you can fail. I failed. I fail every day.
Yeah, it's so important because I think our job as like coaches versus bosses is be able to like develop our leaders to be the best version of themselves, which actually includes them making their own decisions. And part of them making their own decisions is kind of going through the same journey that we went through as owners, which is by failing. We just, as owners, we got to manage their failures so that they don't blow up the business, but it's okay for them to fail. Right. I think that is really, really important, is letting them fail. A lot of times, like my leaders will fail. I know they're going to fail because I want to meet with them next week again saying, hey, how did it go? What's your biggest takeaway? What do you do differently next time? They're like, okay, this is great, so we're training them. So
the biggest obstacle to that is us. We have to let go of the vine and be okay with letting them fail versus rushing in and just doing it ourselves. Forget it, I'll just do it myself. There's no learning there.
Yeah. Okay.